Graphics class did an awesome job putting together the welcome promo baskets. They put together 100 of them, and they'll be distributed to families new to the area through the Chamber of Commerce, the Eagle Business Association. There'll be some at the libraries, and any new families that come tour the buildings. So that was a really wonderful project. I've been trying to get some welcome baskets for a few years together, so I really appreciate him and his class for doing that. They did a fantastic job. We also talked about the district newsletters, and there was postcards that went out and info for the 4K community info nights. We also talked about the tech ed PR, making sure that we are taking every opportunity to promote the tech ed department. I know Caitlin has done a great job. Now we have Tech Ed Tuesdays on Facebook, highlighting different things that are going on there. Honor the Educator program was discussed, and just a little PR on the greenhouse. There is now a active link on the district website. People can get updates on the greenhouse. A list of all the current donors and information regarding that is available. And we had to cancel our last meeting due to the weather, so I don't have a new one scheduled yet, but that was the gist of it.
All right. Thank you. Curriculum policy met on February 7th.
We did. We discussed the 2023 summer programming. It's going to have a little different look to it this year. It's going to be 3 full weeks, Monday through Friday, rather than split the 4 days a week over a longer period of time. They are able to still offer the wraparound care, so that should be a benefit to the families. Looks like next month there should be a catalog coming to CMP to kind of look more at the offerings. We got a quick update on AVID. It's kind of stagnant with the loss of the C&I coordinator. So Carrie's just kind of been waiting in the water, but looking to pick it back up as soon as we get somebody in that position again. We discussed the science curriculum pilot. Elementary school is still in the pilot process, and they should have a recommendation somewhere around April. The middle school is on the board agenda for tonight. We asked for an update regarding the Bloom's implementation. There was definitely some hiccups in that situation with their system communicating with our system, as you saw in an update from Ryan in the full board packet. They are looking to put together a job duties description for the CNI so that can be looked at next committee and hopefully get that posted sometime in April. We looked at the high school course catalog, discussed the new implementation, well, actually, revisit of mythology, and then a new course for, it was like a cultural food course, which is also on the agenda tonight. We had some long discussions of some policies, and that's about it.
All right. Buildings and grounds met this evening. Michael? Back up.
Well, no, he's got his on.
Yep, now you turn.
Okay. Building and grounds did meet this evening. The first thing we talked about was the standard process complex signage. There were quotes, and it looks like the administration needs to go back and rework some, work with the people providing the quotes to get to a better price, and then basically start to move forward. There was a greenhouse project update. The good news is the blueprints, they now have acquired the blueprints and contacted the building inspector and also contacted the architect, which will begin the bidding process at that point, but the committee meeting is meeting next week to help set some parameters, and then they're hoping to have all the bids done soon. We talked about the facilities report that was done, and we're actually in a good spot overall with that, nothing major. To define what we need to do to open up next season, We're waiting for the survey of the Montessori to come back sometime mid-March, early April, to us to be able to set the tasks that need to be done to open that school for the kids. There was going to be a snowplow recommendation, bid recommendation this evening. The administration's not ready, so that'll go into a different time. We talked, administration wants to talk about the possibility of purchasing a vehicle for special education. We had recently sold a van that was not safe to drive. The dollars from that van can be used to help fund a new used vehicle. So we told them to just keep moving forward with that. And then the last thing that we talked about was discussion regarding the facility readiness for spring sports. Billy Leans, the owner of all those tasks, seems to be on point with that. I had asked a question about the fields management. He mentioned that isn't going to happen until May or June, and we'll follow those recommendations. That's all we had for this evening.
Great. Thank you. Finance also met this evening. Mitzi?
We did. We also had the budget workshop prior to Buildings and Grounds meeting, which was an opportunity to have board members have questions answered by Brad and Todd. Thank you very much for preparing that and giving us that opportunity. Finance Committee did meet. We had just very few questions regarding the vouchers. The detail that's been provided in those reports has been extremely helpful. We reviewed variance reports by building and fund. For the most part, we're doing pretty well with minimal shifting amongst our budget. Things look like they're tracking pretty much in the expenditure areas where they were allocated. We did receive a copy of the 21-22 financial audit, as all of you did electronically. There's a few hard copies that some of us have requested. The majority of the items were right on spot. There's a few things that have been ongoing, some of them for separation of duties, but we're such a small business office that some of it's not feasible for us. However, our audit did go through looking very well. And just as curriculum policy reviewed the science curriculum, we have quotes and we are recommending the 6-year purchase. And that will be actually purchase ordered this year, but out of next year's budget. And that was finance, and we meet again March 14th at 6:30 in this room.
Great. Thanks, Mitzi. Do we have any administrator reports?
You won't be able to hear us unless Brad can turn that on.
Turn yours off so you don't get feedback.
Oh.
Look at that.
All right, that's loud enough. Oh, boy, I want one. Okay. All right, the elementary update, we just started our new intervention cycle, which this time of the year will include the wrap-in of our 5K students who are falling in that high-risk category for alphabetic principles. So we have some very creative ideas to sort of meet that need. Our current intervention is stretched pretty thin, and so we've been able to come together as a team and decide that we can use some additional support personnel to be able to support those youngest students. We just held our Under the Sea event that was put on by our wonderful PTO and was very well attended. It was a great fundraising opportunity. Our 2 4K nights garnered 14 families that expressed interest in joining our district, and I just completed our 3rd tour. With those tours individually, we have been handing out those welcome baskets that Mr. Stockrider provided. At our level, they're just a really fun little bag for kids, and we hand them directly to the students to sort of be able to go through their special bag of items and sort of have those fun panther things to sort of enjoy the tour along the way. And then lastly, we just competed in our Math 24 regional competition with one of our 5th grade students taking 3rd overall in Southeast Wisconsin, and then 1st at EES. So it's been really wonderful, and Ms. Bennett's been providing those enrichment opportunities. So that's where we're at.
Course catalog is in front of you, as Christiana mentioned, just a couple new courses, a few description changes. We are working on a credit audit process to kind of help kids understand their graduation track a little bit better. We had a 30-minute homeroom a week ago on that, and then in another week or two, they'll get their catalogs and move forward. Matt Sackrider and Rachel Murphy are working on a Spread the Word, the End the Word campaign. I think you've seen some information about that, so it's a great collaboration between special ed and reg ed. I probably told what you were going to talk about.
You didn't.
Okay, that's good. Getting ready for state testing season to begin. ACT for the juniors will be March 7th, so that will kind of kick off all of our state testing and then registration and working on some of that. Looking forward to a couple days off here. I know kids could use a little time away from each other, so you got a young kid.
We've been, ooh, that really reverberates.
Yeah.
We've been awarded another year of the Get Kids Ahead Initiative grant, which we got one this year, so we use that for some training for staff and some events for the kids. We got again for next year, so we are going to be working with the Richardson School, which is a school that we have a current partnership with for some kiddos, and they're going to come and do some crisis intervention training with our staff and kind of how they work with students and kind of give us, some of our staff, some different perspective and viewpoints on how to do some of that training with some of that fun. And then Carrie's also organizing some field trip things with students to go directly to them, as well as helping to train staff. For Hope Squad, we do have our Day of Hope this Thursday, which is just a day-long event where the kids have a couple different things scheduled, kind of geared towards inclusivity and kindness and, you know, all of those good things. And then we have a full week of events that'll happen in April, which I'll talk about a little bit later when we get closer to it. But the kids have been really working hard and excited, and because tonight was such a long night, they decided to come next month to come talk to you guys. So there is a big group that is going to come and talk all about it and kind of explain what they're doing.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Can we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Any discussion?
I just would like to encourage people to submit their fundraising requests prior to them happening, prior to board approval.
Brad and I would like to, and Tracy would like to encourage that.
So if we could clean that up, because I'm not going to be so inclined to approve things if they're not in advance.
Anyone else?
There's quite a lot of money raised for the greenhouse so far. It's almost $19,000, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
impressive, I think.
Yeah, we get money every couple days. I get some money, and we're, thanks to the committee that's working together, working on some other things, and actually working on something great helping committee right now, so we'll keep plugging away.
Good effort, thanks.
Yeah, that and the Get Kids Ahead Initiative grant, over $22,000, and $3,000 for the high school track program. We've got just a lot of really nice funding coming in, and some excellent field trips. I kind of want to go to the World War II battlegrounds in France.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good stuff going on. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action items. Excuse me. Action item A. Consider a motion to approve the receipt of the 21-22 financial audit.
I would move to consider approval of the receipt of the 21-22 financial audit.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action item B, we need a motion to approve the contract for roofing materials in the amount of $78,250.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for roofing materials in the amount of $78,250.
I second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C, motion to approve contract for roof replacement. This would be for the labor.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for roof replacement labor in the amount of $108,836.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. D, D, we need a motion to approve the 23-24 middle school science curriculum purchase.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the 23-24 middle school science curriculum purchase for the McGraw-Hill's Inspire Science 6-year subscription, the print and digital materials, in the amount of $12,733.17.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. E, we need a motion to approve the contract with Salient Health.
Make a motion to consider a motion to approve the contract with Salient Health LLC for temporary special education teacher placement.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I have a question. Did this go through any of our committees?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Special education teacher. Oh, it's a short-term replacement. I wasn't aware to replace a resignation that I needed.
The reason I am asking that is if it went through, if it was discussed, we contract with teachers on call for long-term subs and things like that, and there hasn't been any place to discuss this, to ask if it's been considered, did we approach them? Because quite frankly, the hourly amount is quite significant.
Well, that is not just like the pay, that would be the insurance and benefits and all of that included. And it actually does come under budget than what we would have been paying for the teacher that had resigned. It is a candidate with a master's degree in social work and is fully certified and has experience working in special education and teaching. She has experience at Genesee Lake School, she has experience at Lakeland. She comes with a lot of experience.
But did we go through our normal channels?
It has been posted on Weekend as a
But I mean,
position.
teachers on call, did we approach them
Shelley
with?
has posted it on there, yes.
Okay, I just was questioning if we've gone through our normal contract.
My preference, given kind of the changes that have happened over the last 3 years in special education department, is if we can have a certified teacher who is experienced and actually provide proper services to our students. That is my preferred route to go. But obviously, it's up to you guys.
And we did stop filling it with a daily sub at the end of the semester because, quite frankly, a long-term daily sub is more work for the people in special ed than it is to just cover without it right now. But so we have not been posting day in and day out subs because, quite frankly, it's not a good use of money.
So this would keep the same person here for the rest of the year?
It's essentially
Yeah.
not a sub, it's an employee.
Yeah. Someone who's available to start
Contract.
immediately, she would be.
The dollar amount was a little crazy, but if it includes all the benefits and stuff.
Yeah,
it's-
it's everything.
And it's consistently the same person for the rest of the year, and they're
Yeah.
doing the lesson plans and IEPs and all of
Have
those.
that full caseload that Amanda Fisher is now doing double.
I just wanted to know if it had gone through and you went to question those things, and since it hadn't, I had to.
No, it's always good to get clarification. Any further questions?
Have we worked with this company before?
Not the specific ones, similar ones, we work with MJ Care, that's how we get our occupational therapists. We used to use a different one, get a part-time speech therapist that we had a few years ago. This one's new, she happened to just reach out and said she had candidates, and I explored, and we ended up with interviewing a really great one, and she came in and shadowed for half a day with the special ed staff and kind of met some of the kids, and
Yeah, from my own experience, it makes a huge difference to have the
Consistency.
same person.
Yeah. And it's better for the kids. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's always better for kids, but this population of kids is
Yes,
definitely better.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action item F, need a motion to approve the 23-24 high school course catalog.
I'll make a motion to approve the 23-24 high school course catalog.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. G, we need a motion to approve the first reading of new policies as recommended by Neola.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the first readings of the new policies as recommended by Neola. policy 5500.01, conduct in virtual classroom, and policy 8395, student mental health services.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, district administrator and business managers report.
Okay, well, I gave a lot tonight. I don't, not too much more to say on the Montessori situation other than, we'll keep working on that. And, yeah, we're gonna have some tight timelines, but if it works out, then we're great. So, one way or another, though, I think we'll have something good to work on. And then, I'm looking at Thursday weather, and just as a heads up, at 7, 8 a.m. when people are coming to school, we might have a dusting of snow, but by 3:30 we could have 5 to 6 inches. So we're looking at different options, including maybe an early release, or if they declare a winter weather warning, storm warning, then we may have to call it, because that could be pretty treacherous, because there probably will be, given the weather we have now, ice under the snow, and buses do not do well on ice. I mean, as big as they are, it's not a good thing to be driving a bus. And temps are supposed to drop with 30+ mile-an-hour winds. So with all that together, we'll be watching that pretty close. And then if you see on TV that we're not running, don't be surprised. Or if you see early release, which would probably be around noon, don't be surprised there. So
When's it supposed to come?
Thursday, start Thursday about 7 a.m.
Boy, if they're ever that accurate,
Oh,
that'd be
yeah.
interesting. Big storm coming.
Whatever's
Talk about
best.
the bugs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you said.
And it was
there's-
50
but I didn't know
today.
it was the Masu, like
I know.
hurricane.
You start to think we're done with it. and
Yeah,
then-
I know.
But then we got-
Anything additional, Brad?
Yeah, just one item that I met with DTC and We Energies and a company called IC Bus. They're the electric hookup company that would be installing all the hookup. We met and we found out that April would be the time frame of ordering the buses. The hookups look like they're gonna be installed come mid-spring next year, so in '24, and then we should have the routes running and all buses in place fall of '24. So, that's it.
Great. Seems like things are going smooth with DTC this year.
There is fantastic.
So that's good. I mean, switch to a new company, it's very good to hear. All right, are there any announcements or board comments?
I'll do a couple shout outs.
Sorry, I just wanted to give some shout outs to some of our amazing athletes. They have been spreading positive Panther power all over the state, literally, for winter sports. I have to give a shout out to our brand new powerlifting team. They have 3 athletes that have qualified for state in just their very first year trying this out. So they'll be going to Appleton, and they're competing against some huge schools. So the fact that we've got 3 qualified
That's great.
in a very short period of time is amazing. Shout out to our coaches, Coach Hyatt and Coach Kaufman, for bringing those kids along. Our wrestling team has 2 kids that have advanced to sectionals. So with any luck, we'll have a few more kids representing us on a state level. Our 7th and 8th grade boys basketball team just completed a tournament up in Fall River over the weekend, and they came away tournament champions. And I've been told that's the first time since 2015 that Palmyra-Eagle has won the tournament up there, so that was like a really big deal. So shout out to them. And our dance teams have been rocking it. I might be a little biased as a dance mom, but our JV teams, the first year we've had a JV team compete, and they were state champions. We had our middle school team compete. For the second year in competition, they came away 4th place in the state, which is awesome. And our middle school duet team also came away with a silver award at the state level. So that's awesome. And our varsity girls also came away with a top 5 in the state. So our dance program is doing amazing. And keeping in mind that 2 years ago, Most of those girls had never danced before, so the work that they've put in and that the coaches have been put in and representing us on a statewide level against some of the best dance teams in the state has been amazing. For everywhere we go, we're one of the smallest schools getting up on there and getting some awards. So our kids have been doing a fabulous job.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, all the upcoming meetings and events are listed on your agenda. Could we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion's ended. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.